What we've heard of Nahum's prophecy so far has been great news for Judah, for Israel. A renewal of God's relationship with them and a re-establishing of wholesome and healthy ties and times. So they probably listened quite well to Nahum. Jeremiah, who we looked at before, they didn't listen to, they didn't take him seriously. Like you wouldn't take seriously a vicar talking to you with a Joe Cool t-shirt on. But Nahum addresses the last part. Once he does this brilliant analysis of how Assyria is going to collapse, he then addresses Assyria. Now, I don't know if they had a chance to listen or whether they took it seriously before they started to see what he was saying fulfilled. But it's interesting to read for us in our time. It's a judgment on Assyria. And God picks out two things that got well out of balance. He addresses the king of Assyria and he said, "Your shepherd carers, your shepherd leaders, the ones who should have took care of the people," that's where there was a massive failure. It's interesting, in our recent times, we've focused, like we never have focused before, on the role that carers play in our nation. They're not the best financially rewarded. But today, and these past few weeks, we've appreciated the risks and the role that they take. And the other side was the greedy ones. We might call them fat cats these days. And they're the ones that were given free rein in Assyria. And that's what God points to. He says, look, things were out of balance. I guess as we look back on this time, I don't mean this in a heavy way, but how does God judge us? What would be God's perspective on how we've coped with this thing that's been thrown at us? And I guess there'll be things to take credit for, maybe things we could have done better. This is God's word to Assyria. "You'll be chewed up as if by locusts. Yes, as if by locusts, a fitting fate. For you yourselves are a locust plague. You've multiplied shops and shopkeepers, more buyers and sellers than stars in the sky. A plague of locusts, cleaning out the neighbourhood and then flying off. Your bureaucrats are locusts. Your brokers and bankers are locusts. Early on, they're all at your service, full of smiles and promises. But later, when you return with questions or complaints, you'll find they've flown off and are nowhere to be found. King of Assyria, your shepherd leaders in charge of caring for your people are busy doing everything else but. They're not doing their job, and your people are scattered and lost. There's no one to look after them. You're past the point of no return. Your wound is fatal. When the story of your fate gets out, the whole world will applaud and cry, 'Encore!' Your cruel evil has seeped into every nook and cranny of the world. Everyone has felt it and suffered.